Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available on iTunes. In 2018. Somebody on my video yesterday commented and they were like, was that the Flintstones that you were singing to at the beginning of your video? I was like, I don't know. Was it? I don't remember the Flintstones theme song. So I had to go in there and I had to listen to the theme song from the Flintstones. I love this gig so much. So anyway, before I get into this video, I want to say with the flipping of the fans and the drama phone and all that, there is this channel out there that I had never heard of before, and I will link their channel below. They've done 3 videos on me now, and their name is The Drama Llama, okay? You guys, these videos are so fine. So they did one compilation video of me flipping fans. They did one compilation of me answering the drama phone, and I can't remember what the third one is, but they've also done like the most hilarious videos of like Jeffree Star and all these other people, right? It is so hilarious. You guys have to go watch their videos. I love those little hilarious compilation kind of little things. So yeah, go check them out. I'll link them below. Somebody sent them to me and I hadn't even seen them before. And I was like, oh my God, these are absolutely incredible. Who wouldn't want a compilation of your own foolishness, right? So, How's the drama phone? This is Peter Monn speaking. Drama. It's been so good lately. It was $9.99, but now it's $21.99. No, we don't use that CC whatever porno billing site. No, you can't use that, no. Tana Mongeau drama! So anyway, you guys, I was just sitting around today writing my next book, and about 3:30 in the afternoon, my drama phone started going off like... How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking again. Oh no, I'm not doing any more drama about her or her other Twitter. No. I've seen the pictures. They're not pretty. So anyway, people were contacting me about Tana Mongeau's new video. Now, if you don't know who Tana Mongeau is, how do people not know who Tana Mongeau is? But so many people comment on my videos and they're like, I have no clue who these people are that you're talking about. I only watch the videos for you because you're so ridiculous, right? So anyway, which I love to make people happy. I love to make people laugh. I love to, like, at the end of all of it too, like there be some kind of like, I hope, some kind of lesson or suggestion that maybe people will take and look at and go, huh, like I had never thought of it that way. An aha moment, so to speak, right? I have aha moments all the time because I try to remain teachable and learn from things in life. So anyway, I received a lot of messages, but this was the first one, so I will read it to you. And it says, hey Peter, have you seen Tana Mongeau's new video? She talks about how her and her friends were going to a party with a rapper when she was 14 years old, or 14. She also proceeds to say they lied to the rapper and one of her 14-year-old friends had sex with him. It's disgusting how she promotes this to her young viewers. That's statutory rape and she doesn't even acknowledge that. So I was like, can this be true? Needed the new fan for the shade, right? I was like, now listen, okay? Tana Mongeau, and I have had a lot of issues, y'all know that. And I've said in videos before, but I kind of like her and I kind of like her story times and all that kind of stuff. So let me say this going further, okay? I do not dislike Tana Mongeau. I do not hate the gal. I don't wish her any harm, but I do think this. I think she's extremely problematic to her younger viewers. I think she needs to think about her gig a little bit more, and she needs to be less concerned with the views and the subscribers she's getting and the message that she's sending out there. Because when these 12 to 16-year-olds age out, and no longer want to hear story times about Ubers and all this kind of stuff, which at the end of her video, she says, if you're going to be one of those people that's going to comment on me and my Uber drivers and those kind of blah, 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 you know, haters, just let your haters motivate you. Okay, well, I don't hate you, baby, but I hope this motivates you to maybe think a little bit about your subscribers. Because one of the common themes I have been seeing lately from a lot of the YouTubers that I have been talking about is, it is very obvious to me, and I'm not really sure how it's not obvious to other people, that most of these YouTubers don't give a rat's ass about their subscribers or the people that watch their content or any of that kind of stuff, okay? Because they're just in it for their own selfish needs. And she talks about that at the beginning. She says in her video that it's a really big thing on YouTube right now for everybody to put in title or like bigger people's names and clickbaity titles and whatever. At first I was kind of like, she talked about me, girl. So anyway, but I don't think she was because I'm not obviously on her radar. Although she did comment on one of my videos and said, I love your content. It was very funny. But anyway, I have to say, I think she's problematic. And I think that it's very concerning to me that all of these young girls are watching her videos and thinking that this is okay or that this is normal way to grow up, right? And she even says that they're craziness, but whatever. The other thing that's concerning to me is if she did this story time, but at the end there was some kind of lesson, like, hey, if you're gonna go out with your friends in downtown Las Vegas or downtown, I don't care, Topeka, or wherever you're going, or if you're on spring break with your friends in Florida or wherever you're going, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you're not dressed, you know, like a 20-year-old trying to get noticed as a 20-year-old. I mean, she says all of this stuff. There is absolutely no learning curve or learning experience for her looking back on her life and saying, well, I've learned a lot now. In fact, at the end of the video, what she says is a little shout out to this rapper, and she says, I'm a lot different now, so take from what you want. If you want to hook up with me, I'm here, okay? So there's no learning experience to it whatsoever, right? Which really shows developmentally to me, as somebody that's worked with adolescents my entire life, where Tana Mongeau is, and she's about at 12 or 14. So you see it in everything she does. If it's not about her getting arrested or doing this, or, I mean, she goes to all these places and talks about drinking underage, so it's just like and what kills me about this is, it's not only Tana that I have an issue with, and I ain't never gonna sign with this management company anyway, so I don't really give a rat's ass, okay? But like, she has adults around her that are condoning her putting these story times out, that are putting together these tours where 12, 14, 16-year-olds are coming and paying her good money because they are so enamored of her, and there are adults that are making money off of this and saying, yeah, girl, go at it. Have another, story time where you're talking about, trying to hook up with rappers when you're underage. I think that's really good role modeling. I think with your 2 million plus subscribers, that's what you should do. So these adults are also to blame in there as well. So anyway, don't get me started on her last video that she has never said anything about since, where at the end of it, she said, we gotta go have an orgy and shoot dope. I'm like, I just can't with that, okay? No ownership whatsoever. So, I went in here and I watched her video, and her video is called, hold on a second. It is called, G-Eazy tried to fuck me when I was 15, not clickbait. So I went in and I watched the whole video. I mean, it's very profound. She talks in there about how this was her life dream at 15 because she wanted to clout fuck somebody and all this kind of stuff. Whatever. I mean, it's not like your story's anything new, baby. We were doing this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and it was just different. It was In Excess or the Backstreet Boys or whatever your gig was, okay? You ain't nothing new. It's not surprising to me, but you're singing to these 14-year-olds that want to have your life, right? Because it seems so exciting and you're making a lot of money and you're selling phone cases. All week long, I have seen her retweet these things where these girls are like, I only had $43 in my bank account, but like I spent $42 of my last money on your phone case. $42 on a phone case? No, ma'am, never. So anyway, with Tana Mongeau's picture on it. Are you crazy? What? What? You got groceries to buy? Okay, so anyway, somebody's got groceries to buy because they're selling those phone cases like hotcakes. And I ain't talking about pancakes. So anyway, I'm watching this video and it's okay, whatever. It's the same as it always is. One of these Tana Mongeau story times, It's like, okay, let me show you how ratchet my life is. She owns her ratchetness, and her and her two friends, she's 15, they're 14, and they were gonna go hook up with this guy, and she was like real excited about it, but she's a blonde and all this kind of stuff. She even shows this picture of herself in there, and I'm like, yep, she looks all a bit about 12, 13 in that picture. I mean, when you see it, you're like, she don't even look like the same person today. I'm like, yeah, she looks, if that girl walked up to me, I'd say, she could be 20 feet away, baby, and spit on the ground, and I'd be like, you look 12, okay? So anyway, she's doing all this, and I'm watching this story time, and she says in there, well, there's something to the effect of, like, this is what kills me about Vegas. Like, in other states, girls are braiding hair and making friendship bracelets at 14, but in Las Vegas, showgirls of the nation, we're out here trying to look like, she calls them baby prostitutes, and go hook up with rappers. You think you're the only town in the country that does that? No, I've worked with 14-year-old girls my entire life, okay? And they're not a whole lot different than you. The difference is, since I've worked with them, they've grown up a little bit. So, it's interesting to me that this is her perception of the world, that her audience are these girls in small town America, okay? Living in the middle of Nebraska somewhere, and they're just braiding each other's hair watching Tana Mongeau videos going, I wish I was a baby prostitute just like her. Really? You think that's who your audience is? No, ma'am, okay? Your audiences are a bunch of girls out there that lack acceptance and validation from people around them, and you're telling them how you can get that validation and acceptance. That's what's sad about it, okay? Instead of lifting these girls up and saying, you know what, maybe I didn't make the right choices back in the day. If I was 14 years old again, this is what I would do differently, but you don't see anything wrong with it, and I'm gonna tell you why, okay? You are bankrolling off of these girls watching your videos. So your story times, your crazy ass life that you lived, is benefiting you financially and allowing you to have this luxury, amazing life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with turning your past into something positive. I totally get that, okay? But not at the expense of hurting these children that are gonna say, well, if Tana Mongeau, she was fucking people at 15 years old, and she's talking about her 14-year-old friend giving head to Amari, who they're back friends again, if you didn't see about all that. She had him up in a Snapchat, and she's talking about all this kind of stuff. And we know in our country that the age of onset for sexual behavior is 12 years old. Do you have a child that's 12 years old? Go look at that child and imagine them having sex. That's a scary thing, okay? And that we know that girls in our country become alcoholics quicker than boys do because they binge alcohol and they do a lot of shots. And they also are developmentally maturing at a faster rate physically than boys do. So girls become addicts and alcoholics faster than boys do. If you do not believe me, you can look it up and do the research. It's there, okay? So what's very scary to me is she is speaking to these people that are very, very vulnerable right now. From a self-concept point of view, from a self-esteem point of view, and from an addiction point of view. And who's to say these girls, a lot of them won't end up at 15 or 16 with 3 babies, hooked on, all kinds of drugs and alcohol, and being like, where's Tana Mongeau now? I can't even afford, I gotta buy baby formula. I can't afford to buy another phone case of her. So the best I can do is sit up in my house and watch her videos. Oh, she gets to go to London again? Ain't that grand for her? That's what's gonna happen, right? Now, this is what kills me about all this. Now, she goes in here and she talks about this whole thing, and yes, she doesn't address the fact that this guy slept with somebody that was much younger and all this kind of stuff. And I actually went under here because I wanted to see what the comments were, because I was kind of surprised. I mean, well, not really. I looked at the video, and the video has right now, 91,000 views and 11,000 likes and 400 dislikes, okay? That's crazy. Like, that means that many people out there agree with what she's saying. So I'm coming underneath here, and all these people are like, saying, so she giving her positive feedback and all this kind of stuff. I love her so much, ha, 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 ha. And then I see this one, and it says, so G-Eazy fucked your 14-year-old friend? And it has 15 replies, and I was like, oh, this will be interesting. And then somebody says, he wouldn't do that, and shame on them for not telling him they are 14. Well, and then this other person says, right, so he still fucked a minor. And then somebody else says, I think you can tell when somebody is 14, which really isn't the issue here at all, right? The issue is the allegation. I mean, she's making a pretty serious allegation here, don't you think? I mean, that's a serious allegation. So then she goes on, and somebody says he wouldn't do that, in quotes. Do you know him personally? Dude has been recording sniffing cocaine off a girl's body. I wouldn't put it past him. And then somebody else says, exactly. And then someone says, have you seen 14-year-old girls these days? It's madness. Okay, that is not fair to say to any of those young ladies out there. Let me tell you a story, okay? My mother started growing breasts when she was 10 years old. By the time that she was a freshman in high school, she had triple D breasts, and she was very, very petite. She would go to school, and boys would stare at her all the time. She came home one day, and at about 10 o'clock at night, she noticed that there were boys outside her window with a flashlight, and they were staring in at her. So my mom's stepdad went out back with a shotgun, and he said, you boys better get off my property. I just called the police 5 minutes ago. So they got off the property, and the police showed up, right? When they talked to my mother, do you know what they asked her? Do you wear tight sweaters to school to entice the boys? My mother graduated in 1961. It hasn't been that long. So to have that kind of attitude about young ladies in our country makes me really, really sad, okay? That we would think that it's somebody's fault for being treated that way. It's not, okay? But neither side of this story is pretty, and neither side of this story is okay. When you have the power to impact, 2 million plus 14, 15, 16, 20, 25-year-old young ladies, why wouldn't you do that for something positive? Why wouldn't you do that for something powerful and empowering? Why would you not want to just do something that would say, I am going to take a lot of these young women and really empower them? I don't understand that, right? And she could say, well, because all these girls love me, like I'm a good role model. You are? You represent partying, sketchy ass stories, and not taking responsibility for your actions. And I'm sorry if you have a tragic history. I'm sorry if you didn't have the greatest family in the entire world. Baby, we all got stories. We all got something that's gone wrong with us. And I'm not saying that doesn't make it right or wrong. I'm saying turn your wounds into wisdom. Be a positive role model for these young ladies. My God, at least once. Okay, instead of just sitting on a stage and charging them lots of money and selling phone cases out your ass, do something positive. This whole at pack with Elijah and Christine and Tana and all these kind of people, I would like to see them do something positive, okay? They want to constantly turn jokes and funniness and sad ass stories. I mean, if this was any other girl that this happened to and she came home and, this could be very devastating to a lot of girls, right? Instead of turning it into this funny story where a lot of people watch you and go, oh, that's so funny. Oh my God, she's got the most exciting life, right? Why don't you educate the masses and do something positive for it? I'm not telling you to change your channel. You can still do story times. Why not at the end of it for 10 seconds say, and this doesn't have to be you. I'm very blessed that I get to sit on camera and tell these funny ass stories that I lived through and I survived. Thank God. But if you're out there, don't maybe make some of the same choices that I do. That's 10 seconds of a video. Why can't she say that? This is very, very serious, and I think that one of the saddest things for me is the commentary that it makes about our world that we live in today. That somebody that tells funny story times about getting drunk, partying constantly, getting arrested, putting themselves in scary situations, all of this kind of stuff, that those people are role models to our youth today, okay? Instead of the positive people out there that are working their asses off to get good grades to get into certain colleges or trade schools. Young kids that are working 2 and 3 jobs to help out their parents, to be part of a family unit, or if they don't have family, that they're trying to support themselves. All of this to me is very, very scary. And a lot of these issues that are talked about in these videos are issues that people have long-standing needs for counseling or group therapy sessions or 12-step programs or for the rest of their life. So I don't understand why Tana Mongeau can't step back for 1 second from the partying, from the fun, from the story times, all out of consideration for her, generation or younger that loves her and loves her videos, to say, I think I can do this and still be a role model to these people. I really, really am at the point where I could touch so many lives in a really positive way. Why she wouldn't choose to do that, unless she's so caught up in her own madness that she can't see why it's a problem. And that itself is very problematic, because why isn't anybody around her saying, honey, this just isn't funny? In fact, it's very, very sad. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.